Good morning. This is Kareem, and here is another episode of Stock for Us. Snag a cup of the brown stuff, and let's review what's going on in the market. Stocks ended last week in positive territory, even after all the volatility triggered by lingering concerns about the banking system and mixed messages from top officials. Now there's a little more clarity. Both President Joe Biden and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said the government stands ready to protect more bank deposits if there's more turmoil. And while the Federal Reserve did indeed raise its benchmark rate last week, it signaled it could ease off as the banking crisis itself is poised to slow the economy. Meanwhile, the FDIC said First Citizens Bank agreed to buy $72 billion of failed Silicon Valley Bank's assets at a steep discount of about $16.5 billion. U.S. stocks started the week strong along with European stocks. However, it could be a rocky week for markets as remarks from Federal Reserve officials and data on key U.S. inflation are also due. First Republic Bank was up, leading a swath of regional lenders higher. U.S. authorities are considering expanding an emergency lending facility that would give the lender more time to boost its balance sheet. This came after the news that the failed Silicon Valley Bank finally has a buyer. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corps announced earlier on Monday that First Citizens Bancshares has entered a deal to assume all loans and deposits of Silicon Valley Bridge Bank. The FDIC has been trying to auction off the bank for about 2 weeks. Silvergate also up as the crypto bank announced earlier this month it would down its operations and liquidate its assets. Silvergate is one of 3 U.S. banks that collapsed earlier this month. It was also one of the most heavily shorted stocks on the market prior to announcing it would wind down operations. Fisker is up since they claimed a 440-mile range for the Ocean Extreme ESUV. That puts it comfortably ahead of the Tesla Model S's 405 miles, a fraction behind the Mercedes EQS's 453 miles, and some way short of the Lucid Air's 520 miles, 3 of the longest range available electric EVs. Though whichever way you cut it, 440 miles is still a considerable distance.